if you are more comfortable in Hindi, this video is also available in Hindi. Link is in description. Now let's start in English. So guys, in this video, I'll teach you the characteristics of cloud computing. In the previous video, guys, I have given you the basic introduction. What is cloud computing? What is basically a cloud? Okay, I have also told you some definitions which you can write in your exams as well. I have also told you about the service providers. What are service providers, right? And I have also given you a brief introduction about the types of cloud in English. Okay. So if you have not watched that video, you can watch that. Link is in the description. Now let's get started. Guys, if you know Hindi, do visit my Hindi channel. On that channel, we have almost 30k subscribers and I have uploaded 320 videos on that channel. About that channel, I'll tell you at the end of this video now. Now let's get started. Now when we talk of characteristics of cloud computing, guys, the major ones I have written over here. The first one is on-demand self-service. That means, guys, if we want some service from the cloud service provider, what we are supposed to do is we'll give the request that we want this much GB of RAM or this much storage, and the cloud service provider will provide us the service directly. Okay, there is no third user intervention in between that. So that is the scenario of on-demand self-service. So I have written over here the same thing, that it means that a consumer can request and receive the access to a service offering without an administrator or some part of the support staff having to fulfill the request manually. Okay, so there is no third party in between. If I give you an example, like if we go to the doctor, we have to go to the receptionist first, we have to take the timing, and then afterwards we can meet the doctor, right? So there is a person called receptionist in between, and then we are able to get to the doctor, right? Now, but in this cloud computing, what is the scenario? We are the user and we have one service provider, right? So user will go to the service provider and it will say that I want this service, and the service provider will directly give you that service, right? So there is no third party in between. That is on-demand self-service. You can ask for any resources anytime and they'll provide you that. Okay, so that is on-demand self-service. Now let's see the second one, broad network access. That is, you can access all these facilities from anywhere in the world. No matter if you are from India or you are from Sri Lanka, Nepal, okay, you can access it from anywhere. Even if you are in USA, you can access that, right? So place is not a constraint, it is independent of that. And you can also access it from any device like your phone, laptop, PC or any device, right? So that's what I have written over here. That is, the services can be accessed from any location and anywhere access we can get, and anytime we can access that, right? So that is your broad network access. Guys, in your exam, you can write these black headings and then afterwards you can explain them, right? So that will be a very good thing. So now let's see the next one, resource pooling. Now what is resource? Basically, guys, if you want some storage or if you want a virtual machine, if you don't know what is virtual machine, you can imagine it as a virtual computer. Like if you give a request to the server, to the service provider, sorry, that I want 4 GB of RAM and 100 GB of storage, so and they'll provide you with that machine. So that is not a physical machine that we are getting, right? We can access that instance, so that is a virtual machine. Okay, so resources can be any storage, memory or virtual machine or anything like that. So it can be anything. That is, it can be service which can be consumed by the cloud user. So any service which we are asking for, that is a resource. Okay, so that is nothing but a resource. Okay guys, now guys, if I tell you what is resource pooling, we ask for some resources, right, from the service providers. Now what the service provider does is they have some resources and they allocate those resources to those same resources to different users. Like for an example, if I ask for 10 virtual machines from a service provider for only 3 days, so I'll use them, I'll pay according to that, and I'll give them their resource back. Okay, after 3 days they'll take the resources back, and then afterwards if you want some resources, they'll give you those same machine if you give the same specifications. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. So they will give those same resources, they'll use those resources, and they will give those resources to you. Okay, so that is the scenario, that those resources will be given to me also, to you also, and to anyone in the universe if the resources are not in use. Okay, so they are sharing the resources, right? They have some resources, they are giving those resources to everybody whosoever is asking for them. So that's what I have written over here. Resource pooling means that multiple customers are serviced from the same physical resources. Okay, now the fourth one is, guys, measured services. It simply means that we will pay according to the services that we are using. If I am using a virtual machine for 20 days, I'll only pay for 20 days. I'll not pay for the full month. Okay, so that is a scenario. You can also take for some hours also, like if you want for 6 hours only, you can take the machine for 6 hours and then you can use that resource, and then afterwards that will be deallocated and you will pay only for those 6 hours. Okay, so you have that facility also. The fifth one is rapid elasticity and scalability. It means simply that, suppose for an example, let me give an example. I have already discussed what is scalability in the previous video, but let me take another example over here. suppose you are the CEO of a company and you have established a company and you have 5 workers as of now, 5 employees. So you have taken 5 virtual machines from the cloud service provider, say Google, okay, or Amazon, we can say. Let's take the example of Amazon. So from AWS, what is AWS? That is a service provider. I've already told you in the previous video. They will offer us services, right? So Amazon Web Services, that is your AWS, will give you those 5 virtual machines. And suppose after 20 days, 5 more employees join. So you need 5 more virtual machines, right? So you'll give the request to the AWS, that is your Amazon Web Services. And then afterwards they'll give you those resources, that is 5 more virtual machines will be allocated to you, and you can use them till the time you want, right? If you take the access for 20 days or even 2 months, 3 months, then you can use them according to your need, that is 3 months, and then you can pay to them for only 3 months, right? So that is your rapid elasticity and scalability. So you can, anytime you can scale up, anytime you can increase the resources, and anytime you can decrease the resources according to your need, and you will pay only that much amount for that duration only. So that's what I've written over here. One of the great things about cloud computing is the ability to quickly provision the resources in the cloud as organizations need them, and then afterwards remove them when they don't need them. So that is totally up to you. Whenever you want, you can take them, and whenever you don't want them, you can say I don't want them, and you can stop the service whenever you feel like. Next is no maintenance and easy maintenance, or you can say like we are not having any headache of how to maintain those softwares, how to maintain those CPUs or those servers, right? We need not spend even a single rupee on that. So that is taken care by these service providers. So that's where our cost is also saved, right? We need not buy any machine. If we want a machine, we can take it virtually by the cloud service providers, or if we want some storage, we can take them. Like suppose for an example, if you have your Gmail account, right? Or let's take the example of Dropbox. In Dropbox, suppose for an example, you have 15 GB of storage, and if you want more storage, guys, you can pay them suppose 150 rupees per month or anything like that, whatever their cost is, and then you will get some space, suppose 150 GB extra for 1 month. So that is the scenario. Okay, you can scale up anytime, and that's not your headache how the things are done, how maintenance is done, and so on. That will be taken care by the service provider. Now the next one is the security. Like your data is secure, guys. Suppose if your one server fails or one data center fails, that does not mean that your data is lost. It is stored at various locations. Like if it can be that your data is stored in US also. One data center is in US, your data is stored in US, and it might be that your data is stored in India as well. One server is there and your data is stored in India also. So that can be the scenario, right? So in that way we get the security of our data also. Okay, so copy of our data on various servers is there. If one fails, data is safe on the other one as well. And guys, one important thing, it does not mean that suppose example if I am from India, then my data will be stored in India itself. No, that is not the case. My data can be stored in US also, in England also, and it can be stored anywhere. So these were the important characteristics of cloud computing. Guys, if you know Hindi, do visit my Hindi channel. I'm sure you will love the content and you will get a lot of beautiful videos over there. So do watch that channel. Link is in description. Guys, this is my main channel. On this channel, I upload videos in Hindi. Okay, you will get a lot of videos over here. If we see the playlist section, guys, you will get Java interview questions for placement, cryptography series in English. I've uploaded on my English channel, right? You will also get in Hindi. You will get the best explanation of cryptography on my Hindi channel, guys. If you know Hindi, do watch that. I have also uploaded compiler design lectures. Okay, I have also covered a lot of videos regarding Infosys, what is hackwithinfy, how to get into Infosys via 3 ways. I have also uploaded some C programming videos. Guys, this is the most important playlist. Okay, interview process details. I have explained everything in detail what a fresher or any student should know if you are in BTech or any stream. Okay, so you can check all these videos. So guys, I have also uploaded a lot of cryptography lectures. You will get the best explanation of cryptography series on the whole YouTube, right? It will also help you out in your exams. You can see some file handling videos. List for interviews is a very important playlist. Okay, so you can also watch this. All these videos are in Hindi, guys. If you know Hindi, do watch that. I'm sure you will love the content. You will get the best explanation in the minimum time. Okay, there are also videos like .NET C#, computer graphics, C interview videos, engineering economics, and so on. So if you know Hindi, do visit this channel, guys. I'm sure you will love the content. And recently, guys, I have also uploaded my Infosys interview experience. So do watch this video, guys, if you are a college student, and that will help you out very much. And if you want the regular video updates, you can join my Telegram channel or Instagram handle also.